Good morning, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. It's Friday, June 6th, 2025, and this is your AM update. OMG.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
Thermonuclear war between Elon Musk and President Donald Trump. Was it always bound to happen? The Supreme Court ruling unanimously that members of a majority group, like white or straight people, do not have to meet a higher burden of proof to bring a discrimination claim.
Whoever used the autopen was the president. And that is wrong. It's illegal.
Sean Diddy Combs getting a serious warning from the federal district court judge. And President Trump orders an investigation into who was really running the Biden White House. All that and more coming up in just a moment on a crazy AM update. If there's something all of us can believe in, it's hard work, self-reliance, and showing up for the people who count on us. And I want to tell you about Beam's Dream Powder. Beam is proudly founded in America and run by people who value hard work, integrity, and delivering results. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve sleep, so you can wake up refreshed and feeling ready to take on the day. Beam is made with a powerful blend of all-natural ingredients, magnesium, melatonin, and more. Beam is made right here in America with ingredients they say will help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up ready to produce results. Beam is giving you the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. Try their best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com/Megyn and use code Megyn at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Megyn and use code Megyn for up to 40% off. Sleep better, wake up stronger, and show up ready for your family, your work, and your country. Well, it's over for now. The Elon Musk, President Trump bromance imploding amid fallout from the big, beautiful bill. The former first buddies on Thursday trading blows over social media in an explosive back and forth that would make even Mean Girls Regina George blush.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Since leaving the White House 7 days ago on glowingly positive terms, Musk attacking Trump's big, beautiful bill on X, slamming it as a, quote, mountain of disgusting pork, an abomination. On Thursday, Musk reposting many of President Trump's decades-old tweets, lambasting budget deficits and raising the debt ceiling limit, something the big, beautiful bill also does. President Trump responding to the criticism from the Oval.
I've always liked Elon, and I was very surprised. Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. I can understand why he's upset. Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
Going on to accuse Elon of suffering from acute Trump hatred upon leaving the White House.
He's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly. And some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it.
Tesla stock taking a sharp dive immediately following those remarks. Musk responding on X, quote, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. President Trump firing back in a pair of Truth Social posts, quote, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. The easiest way to save money in our budget is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. Musk then dropping this bomb on X, quote, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Elon retweeted with the endorsement, yes, another post in which Ian Miles Chong wrote, quote, President versus Elon, who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached. And J.D. Vance should replace him. Elon telling lawmakers on X, wondering with whom they should side, Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I will be around for 40 plus years. The Senate aims to vote on the big, beautiful bill by July 4th. Who knows what the state of the Trump-Elon relationship will be at that point. On Thursday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling unanimously that members of a majority group, like white or straight people, do not have to meet a higher burden of proof when bringing discrimination claims in court. The case centering around Marlene Ames, a straight woman working for the Ohio Department of Youth Services. Ames began working for the department in 2004. She received positive reviews and multiple promotions throughout her career. In 2019, Ames interviewed for a new management position, but lost the job to a lesbian woman whom Ames believed to be less qualified. Shortly after that, Ames was demoted from her current role, a move resulting in a $40,000 pay cut. A much younger gay man was later hired to fill the vacancy created by Ames's demotion. Ames filing a lawsuit against the agency in 2020 under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, claiming she was discriminated against due to her sexual orientation, the fact that she was straight. The federal district court in Ohio dismissing the case without a trial, saying Ames had not shown, quote, background circumstances supporting the suspicion that the defendant is that unusual employer who discriminates against the majority. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals affirming the decision and tossing out the case, noting the people who made the employment decisions were also straight. On Thursday, in a 9-0 ruling for Ames, the High Court ruling, quote, the background circumstances rule improperly imposes an additional burden on plaintiffs who are members of a majority group when bringing discrimination claims to court. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, writing in her opinion for the court, quote, by establishing the same protections for every individual, without regard to that individual's membership in a minority or majority group, Congress left no room for courts to impose special requirements on majority group plaintiffs alone. Justice Clarence Thomas, in a concurring opinion, noting this decision, quote, obviates the need for courts to engage in the sordid business of dividing people by race or other protected traits. The Supreme Court remanding the case back to the lower court for further proceedings. President Trump signing a travel ban, barring entry from 12 nations and restricting entry from an additional 7, set to take effect on Monday. The countries under the ban include Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, and Somalia. The ban lays out several exceptions, for example, Afghans who assisted the U.S. military and athletes participating in the 2028 Olympic Games. According to the president's proclamation, the countries on the list do not have adequate vetting and screening processes to assess a proper background check. The proclamation also stating, quote, many of these countries have also taken advantage of the U.S. in their exploitation of our visa system and their historic failure to accept back their removable nationals. President Trump announcing the ban Wednesday from the Oval.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them. In the 21st century, we've seen one terror attack after another carried out by foreign visa overstayers from dangerous places all over the world. And thanks to Biden's open door policies, very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States.
President Trump there referencing the Colorado terror attack allegedly carried out by an Egyptian national who overstayed his visa, though Egypt is not on the banned countries list. The first Trump administration issuing several versions of a travel ban, each met with legal challenges until the third version was upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court on the grounds that the text of the ban was based on national security grounds rather than religious criteria. Democrat reaction to the Trump 2.0 travel ban, much more muted than under the first administration. This time around, rather than calling it an existential threat to democracy, Dems calling it a distraction from the Republicans' big, beautiful budget bill battle.
This is what demagogues have done all throughout time, is to divide us from each other, make us feel like we need to be fighting ourselves, while on the side, they're stealing from us.
Mr. Trump is looking for distractions from, for example, his big bad bill that seems to be going down in popularity here thanks to his former co-president, Elon Musk.
It's a combination of this effort to push forward with this great replacement theory, as well as just to distract from what's really going on, which is a revolt against his terrible reconciliation bill that cuts taxes for billionaires and increases our deficit by $2.5 trillion.
Legal challenges to President Trump's latest travel ban are expected. Coming up, President Trump orders an investigation into a possible conspiracy among certain Biden staffers to usurp the presidency for themselves. And the judge in the Sean Diddy Combs case warns the defendant he could be kicked out of his own trial if certain behavior continues. Father's Day is coming up. Let's celebrate all the great dads out there who have had such a positive influence on our kids and our nation. Want to celebrate a special dad? How about brightening his day by giving him a gift of Riverbend Ranch steaks? Riverbend Ranch has been recognized by the team at Certified Angus Beef as having some of the finest quality Black Angus beef in America. The difference in quality and flavor is not by accident. For the last 35 years, the Riverbend Ranch has been raising Black Angus cattle with a focus on flavor and tenderness, carefully sorting the genetics to produce the absolute best quality beef. And they raise their beef the old-fashioned way, without artificial growth hormones and without antibiotics. Riverbend Ranch is all about quality. Last year, the Engineering News Record named the Riverbend Ranch Beef Processing Facility as the best manufacturing facility built in the U.S. in 2024. Exceptional American beef, grown and processed in America. For a very special Father's Day, order directly from riverbendranch.com. Use the promo code Megyn, and that will get you $20 off your first order. riverbendranch.com, promo code MEGYN. President Trump on Wednesday ordering an investigation into whether there was a conspiracy to deceive the public about President Biden's mental fitness and unlawfully take presidential powers for themselves. President Trump's order specifically citing the use of the autopen to sign clemency and pardon proclamations, writing, quote, "Just 2 days before Christmas in 2024, the White House announced that Biden commuted the sentences of 37 of the 40 most vile and monstrous criminals on federal death row, including several child killers and mass murderers," end quote. In March, the Heritage Foundation publishing a report finding, quote, "We conclude that individuals in the Biden administration, other than the president, appear to have used a device called an autopen to affix the president's signature onto some of the most controversial clemency warrants of his presidency." Throughout the Biden presidency, the Biden autopen signing executive orders, judicial nominations, and more, according to the report. President Trump commenting on the investigation Thursday.
The autopen, I think, is the big scandal outside of the rigged election of 2020. I think the biggest scandal of the last many years is the autopen. And who's using it? I happen to think I know. I'm sure that he didn't know many of the things. Look, he was never for open borders. He was never for transgender for everybody. He was never for men playing in women's sports. I mean, he changed. I mean, all of these things that changed so radically. Essentially, whoever used the autopen was the president. And that is wrong. It's illegal. It's so bad. And it's so disrespectful to our country.
A statement attributed to former President Biden and given to news outlets reads as follows, quote, "I made the decisions about the pardons, executive orders, legislation, and proclamations. Any suggestion that I didn't is ridiculous and false." The judge in the Sean Diddy Combs case issuing a warning about Diddy's courtroom behavior. The judge telling the defense on 2 occasions during alleged victim Brianna Bongolan's testimony he saw Combs looking at the jury and nodding vigorously, quote, "It is absolutely unacceptable. It cannot happen again." The judge reminding the defense that he already warned against Combs making any facial expressions toward the jury. The judge telling defense attorney Mark Agnifilo if it happens again, he will consider removing Combs from the courtroom for the duration of the trial. In the afternoon, another alleged victim of Combs taking the stand, testifying under the pseudonym Jane. Jane's allegations central to 2 of the charges facing Combs, sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. Jane testifying to meeting Combs on a November 2020 trip to Miami, quote, "He was really charming, really nice, and I was already drawn to him pretty instantly." In January 2021, Jane testifying to meeting Combs again in Miami, the first date lasting 5 days. The following month, the pair went on a trip to Turks and Caicos for her birthday, Jane testifying that Combs gave her a bracelet that read, "Love." He also gave her ecstasy, about 10 times throughout the trip. Jane testifying that in May 2021, Combs asked her about inviting another man into the relationship. Jane agreed, then Combs called a man that night. Initially, Jane attesting to feeling exhilarated by the encounter, quote, "I felt excited. I was happy. It was taboo. It was fun." She believed it would just be something they did on random occasions, she said, but, quote, "I truly felt that night just opened like a Pandora's box in the relationship. It just completely set the tone for our relationship moving forward." She said these encounters, which have been referred to by others as freak-offs, but which she and Diddy called debauchery or hotel nights, became 90% of their relationship. Jane testifying to telling Combs verbally and in writing repeatedly that she did not want to have sex with other men, but, quote, "I feared losing him. I just wanted to be everything that he wanted." Jane testifying that Combs would give her money in amounts ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. She said he made clear that without the freak-offs or debauchery, the relationship would end. The trial resumes later today with more testimony from Jane, who is expected to be on the stand for several more days. And that'll do it for a busy AM update. I'm Megyn Kelly. Join me back here for the Megyn Kelly Show, live on SiriusXM Triumph Channel 111 at noon East, on youtube.com/Megyn Kelly, and on all podcast platforms.